Good evening, I'm Dawn Baker. Thank you so much for joining us for The News Now at 8 o'clock. Don't forget, we are streaming this broadcast on Roku, Amazon Fire, Twitter, Facebook, the WTOC News app, and our website, WTOC.com. We're going to bring you up to date on some of the stories we've been following throughout the day and evening. Sanitation workers for Savannah are constantly looking for ways and looking ahead at what space is available to store the city's waste. The area that the city uses now is part of a 130-acre development that opened back in 1984. In about 4 to 7 years, this section of that will be full, though. As soon as contractors are locked in, construction of the expansion site adjacent to the current site will begin. The expansion will cost $28 million. The permitting process is complete, and the city won't have to acquire any additional property for the project. To cover the costs, the city will issue revenue bonds that will help generate about $11 million. That, in addition to the $17 million already set aside for the expansion, will cover the total cost.
Are you going to, send it somewhere else, or are you going to store it here? Well, we got an opportunity to store it here at a lesser price than what we'd be paying any other place. So, long term, we feel like we'll be saving money.
Well, Savannah City Council will actually vote on whether to approve issuing those bonds this Thursday. We'll let you know what they decide. And the expansion is expected to be completed in the next 3 years. Well, as we approach the new school year, the state of South Carolina is desperately looking for ways to hold on to their teachers as much as possible. The state has been losing an average of 4,000 teachers a year because they just aren't getting paid enough. So this year they're getting a 1% raise. Teachers will get that 1% raise, and it pushes at least those who are the lowest teachers, those who are the rookie teachers, up to a salary of $32,000. That's $60 more in state funds also being spent per student, and that will pay for another 2% teacher pay raise. But with all that, South Carolina teacher salary still falls below the Southeast average of $50,000, and that's a problem for some teachers. Some are leaving because of the low pay, and they just can't seem to make ends meet anymore.
This time we're still checking to see from the time that he jumped the fence here in Orangeburg on May the 19th, we want to track every step that he made. And at this time, as we speak, in fact, we have investigators out right now still investigating on this case.
Now, the superintendent says that the salaries have increased over the last 2 years. Beginning salary used to start at $29,000, so she considers all this a win. Molly Spearman, the superintendent, says that she will go back to lawmakers and continue to ask for more raises. Next week, voters in Chatham County will choose who will be the next leader of the public school board. Joe Buck or Betty Morgan will actually be the winner as of that Tuesday runoff. So make sure that you cast your votes. Amanda LeBreau sat down with the candidates today, and both say they hope to restore unity to the school board.
With disagreements often a part of Savannah-Chatham County School Board meetings, the two candidates hoping to lead the board for the next 4 years hope to bring a renewed sense of purpose.
It just seems to me the board has lost some focus and has lost the direction.
I want to bring that unity to the children, to the board, to the community, to the parents, just everybody involved.
Joe Buck and Betty Morgan recognize new school board leadership will come after school accreditation agency Advanced Ed wraps up an investigation into if the school board is violating standards or functioning effectively.
I've run this campaign on accountability and unity and trust within the school board because I think the board is an example for this community.
I can't go in there and change it from the very beginning, but I can take it one step at a time to find out what it is we need to do first, second, third, and move from there.
Buck is a former 8-year SCCPSS board president who was first elected as the school board was coming off probation. He says his goal is restoring public trust.
Not so much about changing as just reestablishing the culture of trust and accountability in the board.
Morgan is a former educator with nearly 40 years of experience who also wants to build confidence in the board.
They can trust me. I am a woman of my word. I was in the military. They taught me about integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all that I do.
Both say the bottom line, if elected, is making sure they're making decisions to support what's best for students. Amanda LeBreau, WTOC News.
You might remember that only about 18% of the voters in Chatham County actually cast their ballots back in the May primary election. Now, Joe Buck says that he just hopes people take the time to vote and make what he says is one of the most important decisions for our children and the community. And don't forget, the early absentee voting in Chatham County ends on this Friday. That includes mail and in-person voting. If you plan to cast your absentee ballot in person, you can do so at the voter registration main office on Eisenhower Drive. You can also mail, fax, or email your ballot. We have everything you need to know in order to do all that on our website, WTOC.com. Just make sure you check out the Solution Center. And coming up tonight on The News at 11, there were 2 gas leaks in the city of Savannah today. We're trying to figure out why is this happening so frequently. Our Danielle Lewan sat down with one of the fire battalion chiefs tonight. She explains why and also lets us know who fits the bill when things like this happen. We have that story and a whole lot more coming up on TV on The News at 11. And don't forget about our next digital update at 9 p.m. Jamie Ertl, your meteorologist, will have your first alert forecast. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a nice night.